here's your heads up. I've been getting into the Tao. The Tao, yeah, the way. And one line made me think of something else, and then something else. And then I just had to pause for a moment and think. And then I took some action. I'll tell you about it now.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hi guys, Paul here. Personal Development Unplugged. Got my coffee, got my microphone, and I got you. Have you ever seen those people? You'd have to think back a little while, so I don't think they do it quite so much now, but those guys who used to spin plates on those bendy old sticks, and they'd do one, and then one would start wobbling, and they'd start another one, and that would start wobbling, and then they'd run between one and then the other, and then back again. And then they'd get 4 or 5, and then they get 6 or 7, and they're all wobbling and running around and doing that. And then, amongst all that chaos, when he goes to take a bow, I don't know if you ever noticed that all those bendy sticks, well, they tended to get into sync, sway together as if they were connected, and all the chaos simply just disappeared. Another thing, I don't know what they're called. You must know this. One of those little bubbly things that a child has, or you give to a child, and you shake it, and it's like a little snowstorm inside, or normally like a little snowman there, or a Christmas thing, or whatever, but all glitter, and you shake it, and for a while you can't see anything inside, and then slowly all becomes clear. And I was reading a book, and I'm not finished it yet, but it's an awesome book. I love this guy, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Talked about him before. Unfortunately, he's passed away. But he wrote this book called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao. And I think it was Lao's Tao Tom. I don't know. Can't remember that bit. But as I was reading, he was just dissecting each chapter of the Tao. And one line came up, said, muddy water will always become clear. Now, the thing about that is, I have a little bit, because when that calms down to become clear, muddy water can become stagnant. So, sort of not the best metaphor, but it's a good metaphor. Because when you put all three together, what is the common denominator? See, it's not stopping. See, what initially I wrote and thought about this and thinking, well, it's all about just stopping and becoming clear. Things will slow down and become clear. And they will. But I don't want stagnation, because you could say, oh, I've got all this stuff going on in my life, and Cluffy's saying, just stop. Just stop, stand still, sit still, do nothing about it. Yeah, it'll all become clear, but it could stagnate. So what I'm advocating here is not stopping, but stopping of a kind. It's called pause. Just put things on pause for a moment. Because you see, unless you are dealing with stuff or worrying about stuff that you have no control over, that's when I mean stop. You stop and just, what would you do think? Let it go and do something you can control. Do something that's more important. Because worrying about stuff you can't control, well, it's just worrying for no sake at all, is it? You're not going to get any answers. It's just going to ramp up that old stuff inside you, and you're going to get fight or flight, fear, all sorts of stuff. Doesn't do any good. But what I am advocating, as I said, is pause. Because if there is stuff that's going on in your life that is important, and you know what? Life is so nice to you, because one thing will come along and then the next and then the next. Well, it doesn't, does it? It seems to be we have all or bloody nothing. Everything's going swimmingly. Everything. This is going well. This is going well. And then something happens. And then another thing happens. It seems to come in those little cycles. No, all I'm going to say is you need to change your state, because we all know that you can't be in the same state that the problem is causing to be able to solve that problem. So solve those issues. Do something that's going to allow them to, be in control of them, I guess. But in order to change your state, I think you need to just pause. So it's stopping of a kind, isn't it? But it's a little stop. It's a stop with the intention of, I'm going to start in a minute. Because you see, if you pause and change your state, you can change your beliefs as well at the same time. So you have then an empowering belief, a more appropriate state. And guess what? You're in a different place to look in on the problem, look on the issue, and things will settle. Now, what type of states? Now, I think something like, we can say calm. Calm is good. But I always think that inner strength that we have is a lovely state to pull up, so we can be calm yet strong inside, with a belief of something like, maybe, I don't know, there's always a way. There's that great Tony Robbins belief that he has. There's always a way. Always. I just have to find it. There's always a way. I love the belief that I'm okay. Simply that. I'm okay. Because when you're okay, you know you have that inner strength. You know you're competent. You can be confident in that. You can be calm. You can be excited. You can be curious. But you can be, when you're okay, it means you can take on the most appropriate state for that particular issue. And then you can adapt it, change it, evolve into a different state for the next one. Even having the belief, I can do it. Put them all together, there's always a way, because I can do it, and I'm okay. Blimey, we'd knock 7 bells out of the blooming issues, wouldn't we? But the thing is, when you do that though, pausing, decide on your state with your belief, things will begin to settle, so you can see them clearly from that meta view now, and you can prioritize. You see, when you prioritize that, it's so blooming flash of the bleeding obvious, isn't it? We start to prioritize in which issue, that if I settled that first, would have the most dynamic effect on the others. Sometimes they don't affect the others, but it may affect yourself. So what would have the most dynamic effect on you to be able to deal with the others? And you'll see then, intuitively, you'll see, you'll hear, you'll feel what is the most important issue to deal with. And then because you're in that state of mind, and because your physiology will change with that state and that belief, you can proceed calmly. You're not going to have to rush around, because if you do, what's going to happen? Those old spinning plates are going to go into chaos. That snow in that little snow globe, will cloud your view, and you'll just stir up the mud. We don't want any of that, do we? So maybe just think about, it's not about stopping. It's not about rushing about. It's just a matter of pausing for a moment to see clearly. That's all it is. And I just want you to feel, as you think about that, I want you to feel now calm. What would it be like to just feel calm as you hear me talking about, if you've got an issue, to pause on that issue, and then bring in that inner strength and that belief. There's always a way. I'm okay. I can do it. Lovely, empowering set of beliefs there. And notice what happens in your mind as you think about that issue. It's now over there, isn't it? And you can begin to allow all the possible options to come to you, and then to choose the one. Take action. And we've talked about taking action, taking some type of action, but this is a considered action now. And I think one of the reasons I thought about this, because it was important to me, because I got so many things going on in my head at one particular time, just a few days ago, that just a matter of pausing and saying, well, can I do anything about this? First of all, is that a problem? And a couple of the things were, actually, I can't do anything. So I just want to get them out of my head. So if they're out of my head, I've got more resources now to deal with the things that need to be doing. Now I can prioritize them. What state do I need to be in? Because I can do this. Because there's a way. There you go. And that all came from reading that book by Wayne Dyer. If you see any books by Wayne Dyer, I do say have a look, have a read. Sometimes for me, a little bit on a different type of spiritual path than I am, but that's no problem, because it gives me insights into other things. But 80-90% of the stuff he says, I really feel good when I read it. And if you ever listen to his podcasts, they're still putting them out there, of his old radio show, little snippets. He has a real calming wisdom. It's like that slowing down, that pausing to think of wonderful answer, to give a considered view, which is all we need, isn't it? So that's Dr. Wayne Dyer. Have a look round for his stuff. They're really nice. Anyway, I hope this just little pause in time. While you were listening to this, you could have paused. You could just take stock, see where you want to go. What's the important things? What's the one thing that if you began to do it now, would allow all the other things to change in the most dynamic, wonderful way? Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please send me that email. feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Just let me know what you got from this or any others. And as usual, a little share, a little review. Come on, it'll be great if you did. Anyway, until next time, my friend, I'll be in your ears shortly. Okay, bye-bye now. Just before you go, if you've just got a second or two, please have a listen. Why don't you share this? Share this podcast with just one person today, and then one person tomorrow, and one person after that. What would happen if we all did that? And why not subscribe? It's so easy to do. Find the platform of your choice. If it's iTunes or it's Castbox or any others, there's loads of them. Search for either Paul Clough or Personal Development Unplugged, and then there's a big subscribe button. Press that subscribe button, and it'll be there. You get the podcast twice a week, on a Wednesday and a Saturday. Never have to look any further. And if you would, why not put one of those reviews up? Because that would be awesome, because that just moves it around this integrated field of learning, as it were, and becomes and gets in front of other people, which is what we want, isn't it? To be the change we want to see in others and help others change to be the change they want to see in themselves. There you go. I'm going to speak to you real soon. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun. Enjoy every heartbeat.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.